ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope everybody is really doing well, and I hope you had a very nice and awesome weekend. I was literally away for the weekend, relaxed, and made my good plan for how are we going to trade on July and how are we going to perform in July. So June have ended, guys, and before we jump on to the Bitcoin analysis or the chart that we have in front of our screen, June was honestly a very, very, very tough month, very chopped up month, and I know that a lot of you guys were expecting, June to be good, and in fact myself, to give us that pump up to 78,000. We tried to catch bottom many times, but it did not play it the way I wanted to play. Just give us that one more push up, which did not came actually. So practically, June was very much chopped up, and I do think that July is going to be the one. That month, I think we're likely going to see some interesting moves across the board, especially in alts as well. I really believe that alts are likely going to outperform Bitcoin in the month of July, August actually. So now as a trader, you need to understand a very important thing, that if you just stick to a month, that you really want a result in a month, I think you just have to open up or widen your perspective, that you cannot just get a result in a month. You need to just keep on working it, because we finally we are targeting an average return, a good return for quarter, for 6 months, for yearly. That's how you can perform your you can manage or you can measure your performance, my friends. So you just have to give 3 months to 6 months. In some cases you should also give 12 months, because that's how your performance. Even if you look at from the perspective of the fund managers, their performance is also measured based on how the yearly returns they generate actually versus the market. That's how the yearly returns yearly performance is measured actually. And one more important thing is it's just like we are 1 month away from our 12 months wonderful and awesome journey for 21 technicals. It's gonna be like 1 year now in just next month. 3rd of August we started our community, and it's almost like a big and a wonderful up and down ride, and I'm so loving it, guys. It's just like 1 year, and I'm damn sure the next few years, the next second year would be an amazing year. I can promise you that, and I'm going to give my heart, my every damn thing to this community, and we're just gonna grow it like crazy, inshallah. So let's move on to the Bitcoin analysis, guys. Before we deep down into the Lowerton time frame, let's just see how the June closes and what are the monthly indications, what are the monthly chart looks like. Well, I would say June did not close so badly. We closed above above like 61,444, which was quite good. I would say not quite a bad closure. It was really a good closure, but the only problem that I'm seeing so far, if you remember in the month of April I mentioned that we have a nice engulfing candle over here. That engulfing candle is still valid, and that seems to be like playing out, that we're rejecting 2 times. I would say not 2 times, but almost like 3 months we are rejecting. We are not able to flip the previous all-time highs of 69,100. Whenever we go above that levels, we convert it into some sort of a premium zone, and we are likely dumping down from that premium zone actually. So honestly speaking, we still have that engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle on play, and also if you just look at here, we also got a nice sweep of the lows after that engulfing candle in the same month. Basically, I would also say that likely that the engulfing candle would have played out, but the engulfing candle is still very much valid, ladies and gentlemen. So I would say that monthly is not like looking that bad, but it's not looking that good as well. It's like neutral to me actually. I would be very much bearish when we start closing it under 60 or 1,360. Once we start going back under, I would be very, very bearish, and I would be then targeting towards a $55,000 levels for Bitcoin, the 0.38 Fibonacci levels. But whether this is going to mark the top for Bitcoin, whether this is going to be your top, it's hard to say at this point, but I do believe that there is one more pump or push that is still pending and that is still missing actually. Why? Because there are two possibilities, ladies and gentlemen, over here. The move from the bottom that we have seen so far can be A, B, 1, 2, 3 new all-time highs, 4 accumulation, and 5. So that is like ABC 5 waves. Okay, that's gonna be like ABC 5 waves. Now this ABC is a very valid ABC. You already know my heart and time frame Bitcoin plan. So this ABC is a very valid one. Alternative is bullish impulsive. 1, 2. We are still in a wave 3, and that's gonna be our wave 3 right now. We are right now in the wave 4, and then we look for a wave 5. So one more push on an upside. So in both the scenarios, what we are watching is that one more push up is pending, but that push is likely going to happen after sweeping that 56,550 lows. Now that is only and only why I'm saying that we are likely going to push it up after 56 sweeping the lows, only because we have the monthly engulfing candles, and normally the monthly engulfing candle needs to reject from the 786. Max it can go to 886, but 786 is like the ultimate. And if you look at here to the candle of the engulfing candle, if you just look at the measure, the move, you will find that we rejected very much close to 786. I would say we just sweep up the 786, we never reclaimed it, and we rejected it. So this engulfing candle is still a valid, very very valid engulfing candle. And practically I would just like to say that there is like a resistance, and the resistance would be the 0.5 Fibonacci levels, which is like 66,114, and 66,114 is going to be your resistance, where you don't want to see it reclaim it. If you really want to play out the engulfing, you don't want to see that we are reclaiming 66,114, because if you reclaim it, the price is then going to soar it back up to 78,000, just like sweeping up the highs of 74k, can go 77,000, and then we are likely going to see a massive dump towards 2023 highs. But let me tell you one more thing, that in next coming few months, whatever we're going to do, we are going to 80k, 90k, but definitely we are going to revisit these levels minimum. This levels is going to come, and I'm telling you it's going to happen, whether you like it or not, but that's going to happen. If you remember, we sold our Bitcoin spots from 16,800 at 70,500. We also sold Bitcoin spot that we bought around these $39,000 levels at 70,500. We sold the Bitcoin spots, basically whatever we bought at 60,000, 61,000. We have booked all the profits. Practically we don't have much of spot bags at this point. I personally have a little bit spot bags, like 10% of my capital right now is in Bitcoin from the 16,800. I was literally having 90% back in Bitcoin, but now it's like just 10%. I've booked all the profits. I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with how we have played it actually from the lows. But right now, if you look at from the monthly time frame, ladies and gentlemen, monthly is neutral, looks to me like neutral. The bear case, the bear sentiments are going to kick in, or we are likely going to short it from 61,000. Once we start losing another 61,473, we are likely going to short it towards 55k. That's going to be like a 10k dump, or maybe 6 to 7k dump. Yes, so we can just play that 6k dump with a short. We are going to long it here, and then we are likely going to see that one more push up like this to $78,000. So that's what my plan is for Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. Now let's have a look at on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. So this is the Bitcoin Coinbase chart. Normally I would also like to see the CME chart, but right now let's just focus on the weekly. We had another weekly candle. I would say not a bad candle, but we had a not a good candle as well, because we got a bearish pennant over here. Now this is not a bearish pennant, this is like a pennant. Okay, that's like a pennant, but still it is red one. If you would have got it like a green candle, it would have been a really good actually, but for now this is like a pennant. So basically I'm expecting a Bitcoin to retest $60,400 levels, maybe even $60,000 levels again, and if this pennant holds, we can just probably look for one more push up towards $64,700. $64,700 is what 64,700 is what I would like to get it retested. Why? Because that is where exactly the wave for target is. Now if we go down to the lower time frame, I will explain you exactly what is wave for. But right now I'm the weekly. If you look at the weekly time frame, weekly is having a pennant over here, or you can also say hammer. It is more like a pennant, and in this whole candle, but that's not a bullish pennant. Normally bullish pennant is green actually, so I would just say it's like a pennant. It's like a pennant, but more of a kind of an hammer as well. So hammer is a very valid term instead of a pennant, but you can also correlate with the pennant as well. But this is not sort of a reversal candle for now, till we see this weekly candle acceptance above $64,700. Now what exactly weekly represents? I mean, what exactly the oscillators are saying? Well, if you look at the RSI is not giving me that any sort of a reversal signs yet. But if I just have to look at from the support perspective on the Bitcoin RSI, so basically this is like a resistance. So till we don't reclaim 58.75 on RSI, I am still expecting RSI to just go up here and come back down, go to the 50 levels, you just like a trap, and then we look for a pump it up to something like this, forming a very interesting head and shoulder sort of pattern on the weekly time frame. So practically speaking, weekly RSI is not looking that great at this point until we don't reclaim 58.5 or 58.75. it's not looking that great in my view. So basically what it means that the pump that we have received or we have got so far in the July opens is more likely it's likely a dead bounce or dead cat bounce, honestly speaking, and it's more likely an ABC move rather than an impulsive move. Now let's also talk about how the weekly MACD looks like. So with that, one more interesting chart I want to show you all is the weekly MACD. Normally I normally don't like to look MACD from a weekly perspective, but this MACD is giving me chills actually, honestly speaking, because if you look at the historical data, let me just show you. So I'm just going to death cross. Well, if you look at here, I think few days back when I mentioned that we have a death cross on MACD, and I will explain you in detail about this death cross. Don't panic, don't worry about it, and that's exactly what I would like to do basically. Well, whenever, first of all, what is an MACD death cross? What is an MACD death cross? Practically MACD death cross is when an MACD line crosses the signal line. Whenever the MACD line crosses the signal line, is going to be like a death cross, or it's going to be like a golden cross. So right now if you see here, we got a MACD death cross on 22nd June 2018 after a good bull run, and then we started a bear market. If you remember, again we got a similar death cross in 2019, and then we started another dump actually, or you can say a bear market, and then we had a similar death cross happen on 2021 April, and you can say that we started another bear run or retracements, like a big dump on Bitcoin. And if you see here, we got a November 2021 death cross, and what happened after that, like a bear market. And after that we got another death cross like this. I would say we got a death cross on June 2023. We will see how that played out. We got another death cross in July 2023. We will see how that played out. And then we got a death cross right now, like 2024. And the bad part is that we are still, the histogram is still saying that we are not yet done. So practically histogram suggests that we need to see the weeklies are going to be the weekly candles are, we might see another 1 or 2 week red, or maybe some sort of like up and down, like something like this. But the weekly is MACD is not looking that good. Now let's try and see how it has affected the price whenever we have seen a death cross, how that have impacted the price. Let's begin from the inception. Well, if you see here in 2018, we got like a move. So practically we got a death cross here, and from there Bitcoin dumped literally 72.86%. Similarly, we got a death cross in August 2019, and from there Bitcoin dumped almost close to 60.7%, and of course that was like a bear market. Of course, we got another death cross here in 2021 April, and what happened. Bitcoin dumped 48.6%. we got another death cross here in November. From there, I would say Bitcoin dumped almost close to 70%. And then we got two death crosses for Bitcoin in the midst of a bull run. So after that death cross, Bitcoin literally pumped up like 22%, and then we got another death cross where Bitcoin dumped almost close to 16.6%. So that's how the historical data suggests. Now, if you see, if you look at the data over here in this whole chart that we are talking about, normally whenever the death cross happens after a bullish impulsive move, like a big move, and we have been making new highs that have played out very nasty, and we have got a big move like 60% or 70%. But whenever the death cross have happened in between, like in between of a bull run, and we haven't made new all-time highs, then normally we have seen this can be a choppy, an upside move, a downside move. So this is like a choppiness that we have seen, but this death cross literally happened so far, for like this death cross have happened in my view at the top. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but if you just look at this whole historical data, the historical data suggests that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of 6 times, 5 times we have dumped, and the dump have happened a minimum of 17% and a maximum of 73%, and only once it has pumped 22.37%. That has been just like one time we have pumped, ladies and gentlemen. So basically the probability right now is almost close to 88%. So on 5 out of 6 times, I would say we have seen a massive dump, and a dump would be like 16.5 to 70%. It can be anything. I mean, we don't know exactly. I cannot say what exactly, because we can't just depend on MACD. But this is something I just wanted to show you, that what exactly the MACD is screaming to me actually, and which is not a good sign actually, So practically we have to be very cautious when we are playing it, and I am just simply going to give you the spot calls till we have a concrete flip of 69.1k. Once we start flipping 69.1k, we are likely going to build a leverage positions towards $78,000, and then we can just look for some more shorting opportunities. But I think, guys, whatever, let's say for example, as I mentioned, whatever the move you are going to see, like one more push up, that is going to be absolutely your last move for this bull run. You can't expect Bitcoin to pump it up straight to 100k from here, or even if it does, in my view, that's gonna be like a blow off top, and it's gonna dump very quickly towards $50,000 from 100k. That's gonna be like a 50% dump in no time. So practically, whatever the move I'm anticipating or we should be expecting, it's gonna be literally like the last move for this whole, because there is a lot of signs on weekly time frame that we have a bearish engulfing candle on monthly, which is still in play, not yet invalidated. we have a weekly, as I mentioned to you, we have a weekly MACD death cross, which is not a good sign, honestly. I mean, I would have ignored this death cross if there have been data in the historically data would have suggest that 50% of the times it pumps, 50% of the times it dumps. But right now the data is 5 out of 6 times we have dumped, and the dump is between 17% to 70%, and the pump only once it has pumped, as I mentioned, on July 2023, or maybe I would say June 2023, that we have pumped up like this in the month of June. So in July, when August was like a dump, and then we started a rally. So practically speaking, the most favorable scenario would be that we can expect more downside, even if July gives us a 19 to 20% move, or we might extend that move in August as well, till we don't finish this whole correction. But I'm damn sure that 19 to 20% minimum pump is going to happen on altcoins, and we are going to catch that move. And Bitcoin, you can get another 20-25% move on an upside. Practically, if we get a perfect 1 to 72 Fibonacci levels, anywhere from like here, I'm expecting a minimum impulsive move to 30%. It's a minimum, and max it can pump it up to 35 to 40%, and after that you can say that, hey, we are almost done actually. But 20% upside is a very, very likelihood, even if it's not 40%. So weekly we are having this sort of a MACD death cross, which I wanted to show you all, which nobody's talking about in this whole Twitter, because everybody is so biased with just like 100k, 150k, 200k targets, and they don't want to see anything. I mean, they just want to see an upside. That's all they want to see. So practically they have that biasness. Every traders out there having their own biasness. Many traders out there, they're still stuck with their biasness, like 14k. Every tweet you send, they're just going to respond in your tweet. 14k, 12k is going to happen. I mean, dumb. Okay, 14k is going to happen, but why the hell do you want to miss the pump to 75, 77k? So just forget about 14k for now. But these are the sort of traders that we have outside in the crypto Twitter, and I don't know how the community is run. It's misguiding the people, misguiding their members. But honestly speaking, guys, this is something you need to keep in mind. So that's what we have for a weekly time frame for Bitcoin. Now let's deep dive into the lower term time frame, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly and how the data looks like. So let's go to the daily time frame over here on Bitcoin. So the daily, even if you look at our our indicator, the traffic indicator, everything is red over here except the EMA confluence, but all the other rest of the confluences are red, which means that weekly is still not yet being bullish. At this point we need certain levels to reclaim. We need at least a minimum of 64.9 or 64.7 levels to be reclaimed, so that from there we can run it up to 69.1, and from after reclaiming 69.1 we can run it up to 78k. So there are ranges that we will play actually. Flip one, we get one. So basically that's how we're going to play. You flip 64.7, we buy 64.7, we let it ride to 69.1, TP 69.1, flip 69.1, we rebuy 69.1, 69.3, and we let it ride to 78k, sell everything and run. That's what we are going to play actually. That's my strategy actually, and that have been a very safest strategy, conservative strategy. Now let's go into the daily time frame as to what exactly Bitcoin looks like. Daily have turned bullish. Practically all my indicators, it's like a big buy signal. I'm getting it from RSI confluence have turned green, BB confluence for the first time we have turned green actually. EMA confluence is green, cross confluence is green, 50 confluence is green. Now that's like a big confluence. Now last time let's just try and understand what happens when we get every damn thing green actually. So here, this is what we got, everything green. That was the first I would say case when we got everything green, and then the market what it did. Similarly, just trying to try to find the levels where everything was green actually. Yeah, here you see everything was green in this candle, and a similar sort of a move have happened as well. So practically everything was green. We got a nice move here, and then we got a retracement, and then a impulsive move on an upside. So what exactly we can expect from here as well? Let me see another green. Yeah, here is also we got a very interesting green as well. Again, everything was green, and now here for the first time I'm seeing everything is green, basically this candle. Yep. So everything is like green in this candle. Not here, but here. Perfect. So practically, as you can see, whenever we have seen all the greens on the daily, which also indicates that we are likely going to see some sideways and good buying opportunity. So practically, I am very much hopeful for the month of July. What we can expect here, like a little bit of sideways for Bitcoin, maybe push it up to 64,000 or so, a little bit of sideways, and a retest is going to happen for Bitcoin, as I mentioned, to 60k. Can even do a retest for like 59.3, because that's move is, in my view, is A, B, C, another choppiness A, B, C, B, and then a likely push it up to 64,000 to $65,000, and then like a bear flag, and then go down like this. Or simply this move is like 1 2 1 2, like 61,000 to 60,000 too, and we are running back turbo like this. So there are two possibilities, but what are the possibilities would that be? I think this retest is definitely going to happen. The way we got a retest over here, I'm expecting a very similar sort of a retest at this time as well. So I think we should be not be afraid to long or buy the dips when it comes to 60,500 to 60k levels. We should not be afraid. I mean, even I would say that we should not be afraid of looking to buy dip around 61.2. That is going to be the good levels for Bitcoin actually. So overall daily is looking great. Still, I would say this is like a good early buying opportunity for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. That's like a very early signal that there might be reversal, because RSI have not turned bullish. It has not turned flipped 50 yet. So basically our algo, the trend catcher itself, the name suggests that it's like a probable trend catcher, which means that even before the trend, the coin start trending, it just catches the move actually. That's what it means. And that's the reason, I think very likelihood that, this may be some sort of a 1 2 3 small push down, 4 5 choppiness, 50 50 RSI retest is going to happen with the EMA, and then we run it back up to 71 72 sort of a thing. So that's how, and that's where the bear divergence is likely going to form, where the price makes higher highs and the Bitcoin RSI don't make higher highs, and that's where the divergence is likely going to form. So practically speaking, even the weekly is not looking that great, but daily is so far looking good. And on the lower term time frame, we need to look for, if you are an investor, yes, you would not invest in this coin for like 1x or 2x. No, that's not how you're going to play as an investor, because weekly is not looking that good. But if you're a trader for swings, if you're looking for day trading or swings, perfect opportunity, because daily is looking amazing. Any retest, we are likely going to see some choppiness like this, and then I'm expecting it to come down. A retest is going to happen. There is an order block as well, and I would like to see it push it up to the levels of 65.6, and that's where I think a very interesting 5 waves is going to finish. That's going to be like 1 2 3 4 and 5. So that's going to be like a 5 waves. rally is going to finish, we're going to be like just like swinging the lows and run it up like this, or as I mentioned, we simply do 1 2 1 2 and we just run it back up to new all-time highs. We will see at that point of time. As I mentioned, we're just going to play levels on levels, but for now I am looking for buying the dip opportunity is here at these levels. Let us also see how the naked POC looks like. What are the levels that we are having NPOCs at this point? We should have some more confluences, so we have confluence of, first of all, we don't have May opens here, so there is like we have a naked POC around 61.5 as you can see, and we have a daily support of 59.2. There was a naked POC around $60,000 which is tagged and the price just ran up, but I do think if we just simply look from the perspective of the naked POC, I do think that BTC is likely going to see a retracement, a little bit of sideways choppiness, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to retest a minimum of 61.4, and later the best opportunity in my view would be 59.3 if given. If it's like a perfect ABC, like a double bottom sort of a thing, and then we look for up here would be nice actually. So let's see what we get, a 61.4, 61k bounce, or 59.3. We will determine how we are going down. If you're going down in ABC like here, then we will be buying here up here, and we are going to let it run. But if you're going down in 5 waves, 1 2 3 4 5 and reaching like 61k, then we're just going to scalp it up. We will buy 61k, we are going to scalp it up, and we are going to do something like this, ABC, and then run up. So there are two ways we can go down actually, but overall I think the daily suggests that early signs that we are likely going to reverse. Let's have a look on the 4 hours time frame. Same plan for the 4 hours time frame as well, no changes. But if you look at here on the 4 hours time frame, we are a little bit overextended here for ABC move, and also we are having a bearish divergence which we should not be avoiding it or ignoring it. As you can see that from here the price did not sweep the highs, price made lower highs, but the RSI is making higher highs. So practically 4 hours is having a bad divergence, and hence I would not jump into any longs over here, guys. I would just say stay patient, the dip is going to come, and if you want to short it, I would not short it because the funding is relatively negative here, so I don't want to pay anything to exchanges just to enter the short opportunity. I will be shorting it when the funding start going neutral or positive. That's where we short the market. So overall I think on the 4 hours a daily time frame, the plan for the Bitcoin is this, and that's how we are going to play the Bitcoin plan. Either we bounce it from 61.3 to 61k, or we go down towards 59.3 and run it up to $65,000. That is going to come actually. This ABC is very likely. We're just likely going to see some more choppiness. Let's also move down to the USD dominance, ladies and gentlemen. Now I know that you guys already know about the USD dominance, that exactly what I was anticipating. But even if you feel that we rejected very close to the golden pocket zone, I mean let me just hide it for an instance. I feel that we are still lagging one more move on an upside. Why? Because if you look at from the wavecon perspective, this is your wave 1, that's your wave 2 over here, that's some sort of a wave 3, and then you're getting ABC move on the downside, wave 4. So one more push up is still missing on a USD dominance. Now the invalidation levels for the USD dominance would clearly be that we can do something like this, a little bit choppiness, and I would like to see something like this, a minimum like this ideally. Now this doesn't go with my plan for Bitcoin, as I mentioned. As you can see here, even what we should be expecting, this 0.5 fib 64,165 is very crucial. But as I mentioned, wave 5 can be a truncated wave 5, and Ethereum is yet to finish its move on the downside, which means that even if Bitcoin goes down to 59k from here, let's say not exactly from here, but after having that push to 64 165 choppiness, then I think even if you go down to the bottom and maybe sweep it lows like this, it's going to be like a big buying opportunity. It's going like a perfect W, and in my view, like a perfect Adam and Eve bottom. So this is going, your Adam is forming or has formed like a V-shaped recovery. That's an Adam, and we're going to form an Eve. Eve is going to be like a cup like this. So that's where I feel that, you know, that's where I feel that Ethereum should be now looking for some more downside, because it's missing the move. We need to go it to 3085. That's where the naked POC is for ETH, and after that I would like to see a nice rally on ETH towards 3850. For now, I think this is how I expect Bitcoin to do, actually, ladies and gentlemen. USD dominance, I would not rely much on the USD dominance. Might even be like doing a bigger, you know, bidding of like top is in. Let's say this was like your, you know, some sort of a top. Let's say this is your top. C is already in. Chop, chop, chop. So this is C, and we are already moving down like with 1, 2, 1, 2, and booyah, 3, 4, 5. July is M pattern formation. We go to 3.994%, and from there it's formed. It's like a bullish count for the overall market. And why I think this is very likely to play out, let's go to the DXY. If you look at dollar index right now on the 4 hours time frame, or even if you just look at here on the 12 hours time frame, I think dollar index is topped out actually, and hence that's the reason I mentioned few days back as well, like do not try and short gold actually, or silver, or any commodities. It's a perfect diagonal I'm watching right now, a very interesting, very interesting diagonal actually. Look at it's so perfect. It's so perfect. And also the worst case scenario that I'm watching right now is a very good cipher, and it's so perfect actually, very perfect. Look at this cipher. So practically speaking, ladies and gentlemen, gold is likely, you know, bottomed, and I believe that you know, I believe that we'll have a slight push up on the dollar index, maybe to 105.8, but you know, this is how in my view dollar index is going to dump to 103.42. maybe even it can go down to 102, but minimum target is 103. That's what my target is, a minimum. That's the target based on the harmonic pattern that we are having it. So the dollar index is topped out. So in my view, I think the money is going to rotate from, I mean, Euro USD is going to pump, AUD USD is going to pump, GBP USD is going to pump, JPY USD is going to move on an upside. Every USD pair in my view is going to run up. Not, I mean, few countries like, you know, they are, for example, Egyptian pound, they are in the bear market, so practically they might just keep on pumping even if the economy is not that good. Turkish lira maybe might just look good actually. A lot of people ask me about TRY USD, Turkish lira, or you can say USD TRY as well. Let's just check the USD TRY. I do have chart for it on Oanda, or you can have it on FXCM. So if you look at here as well on the, you know, Turkish lira, let me just open the Oanda. I had a chart. Perfect. So it has reached my target. If you remember, 1618 was around 33. So from here 28 I was expecting it to push it up to 1618, which are very close actually. I mean, we literally hit my target, and we have formed a very nasty engulfing candle, but not exactly an engulfing candle, on a weekly. So likelihood that, you know, the Turkish lira might top out here, and then we also have, you know, some sort of a I would say just need to have a logarithmic chart. Yep. So basically speaking, if I just have to look at the RSI, Turkish lira seems to me like it can just probably recover really good. I don't know what economic policies the government is going to adopt, or the country is going to adopt, but looking to this whole price action or the structure that we are having it at the moment, I believe that Turkish lira is very much into my short territory. Basically it's going to it's topping out practically, and we might be looking for a move on the downside on Turkish lira towards 2414 Fibonacci levels, a minimum of $30, 30.3 maybe. Max it can go down towards 28.5 to 28.7, but that's it. I think we are very much topped out for now, and after that we can just probably look for further upside towards 38.7, but for now I think it's topped out, my friend. It's very much into my sell territory based on the fibs. Now remember, it also, this is very volatile as well, so practically a lot of things are going to also depend on how the economy, the government adopts economic policies actually, or makes economic policies. But looking to this structure, it's bearish. A minimum target for the Turkish lira is 31, and max it can go down towards $30 for Turkish lira. So basically this is what my plan. I think dollar index is topped out, so practically everything is slightly looking bullish to me. So this is what the plan that I have for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. For Ethereum, let's discuss Ethereum as well. Have a look on Ethereum on the weekly time frame, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to hide it, everything. I would just want to hide it. Just want to keep it a little bit simple. Brush perfect. Well, the if you look at the weekly, the first thing that comes into your mind is what is the first thing that comes into your mind looking to this chart? What comes to your mind? How do you see weekly, ladies and gentlemen? How do you see weekly? Do you feel that this is bullish? Do you feel that this is bearish? Or do you feel, you don't know anything about it? Because when I see this weekly candle, it tells me that we are having a 3 black crows actually on the weekly. 3 black crows, first, second, third, and the fourth. Even if you said that this is fourth, basically this is like playing out. The black crows are playing out, and normally what happens is whenever we see a black crows like this, very often it ends up doing a impulsive move followed by another black crows actually. Very indeed. So basically what it might do is we have a nice pennant, I will say. So retest is imminent of 3,285 on the weekly, and push it up to 3,691 on Ethereum, and after that I would like to see it going back down to 2,868, because this seems to me like A, B, and 5 waves up, so it's topped out actually. I don't have any other wave count, and let's say even if it's not topped out for now, we are going to form a triangle. The triangle normally goes towards 786 minimum, which means that even if it goes like we are forming a triangle on ETH, let's say ABC triangle is there, we are forming a triangle on ETH, then we really wanna move back down to $3,050 to $3,000. From there another push it up like here, chop a bit, and breakout is going to lead towards 4,140 to 4,150. That's going to be like a triangle. That's just in case, but overall I feel that as I mentioned, a plan with the Bitcoin give me a push pullback towards the weekly levels and the Fibonacci levels. Let me just give you accurate levels based on the fibs. Here it's gonna be like 3000, how much, 316 to 3290. So 3300 to 3290 is what I would like to see Ethereum give us. Can even go to 3261, because that is your weekly major support. That's your weekly major support. So 3261 would be nice. If it gives us, I would just simply go 100x, because it's a perfect. Thank you, Ali, for responding, and the rest of 70 members that we have on the live stream. You guys did not responded. I don't know whether you want to learn it or not, but you should. I would request each and every one of you to respond, so that the more we talk with each other, the more we can learn from each other, and the more we can grow from each other, because unless and until you speak, you won't grow. Actually, you have to speak up. Even if it's wrong, don't worry, nobody's gonna laugh on you. And even if somebody laugh, it's his loss or it's her loss, because laughing on someone, even if they have did some mistake, means that the other person don't have the guts to literally do some mistakes. I mean, you have done a mistake, which is good. It's okay, nothing to worry about it. But my plan for Ethereum is this, which also suggests that even if we pump it up to 3691, after that we're going to dump, which means that even if Bitcoin does this Adam and Eve, and even if you pump it back up to $65,000, later on we will dump actually. So July, I think this pump, I don't want to miss it. The pump from 60k to 65,700, like a minimum 10% move on an upside, and max it can probably even go to 69k as well. So there is a likelihood that we might even pump it up to 69k. But we are also holding a spot positions on our 1k to 10k challenge for Ethereum, and it's above our entry right now. 3525 is where we bought spots right now. And I think it's safe to say that we will build a coin margin contract longs for ETH on our challenge as well. So overall, if you look at from the total perspective, ladies and gentlemen, total have played the plan. If you remember, I wanted to go to sweep the lows of 2.19 trillion, and ideally it did actually. I mean, I don't have any issues with the total, but still I feel that total is lagging one more down. So that's like once it hit the naked POC, as I mentioned, one more move on the downside is going to happen for total, and that's where we can short some scalps. We can take some scalps on the short, especially on alts. Why? Because alts are going to take a big dive. You can see alts are practically going to get wrecked. I'm waiting for alts to just sweep above 619 billion. Just go slightly above, just go above here, like a double top sort of thing. Take the liquidity. ABC is done. Come back down, sweep the lows, go to the green box, and then we can talk about 20% move on an upside. From there towards, so practically speaking, the dump from here would be 11 to 12%, and the pump from the green box would be anywhere between 24 to 30%, anywhere between those levels, which is quite good actually, which is very, very good. So basically alts I would be interested to buy alts in this green box. Makes very, very logical green box actually. So we have a lot of liquidity now under this, because now we don't have $1, we have $2 right now. You see, we now have $2 because now we also have dollar here. So we have $2 here. Practically we have a nice liquidity. A lot of longs are going to get wrecked, a lot of them going to get liquidated, and then we can run up on an upside. So that's what the plan that I have for the market, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you loved this analysis, and if you like it, please press the like button and share this video and content with all your friends and family. So that's what I have. I'm also going to update everything on the Discord with our perfect write-up, and also I will run. I was facing some issues with the indicator bot because the developer was on vacation, so I wasn't able to connect. I run the. He has updated something yesterday, so I want to check whether it is working now or not. But once I'll check it today, and I'll update you. Let's kill in July, guys. Let's catch that 20% move on and upside on everything. But before that, we want the dump, so have some patience. Let's first get our dip and we can buy it. Have a nice day. Let's connect in the noon for our scalping sessions, and we are starting our challenge. The new 50k account, Shory is going to start doing a challenge from today. I will be handing over that account to him. Me and Shory both are going to take a trades actually on that, but majorly Shory is going to do it. I want to focus more on giving trades or scalps on our crypto basically here, and swings basically I want to play it because I don't want to miss that. Because when we play the prop challenge, the prop challenge is focused more on smaller times, it's like 5 minutes, 15 minutes. That deteriorates your capability or insights of looking the bigger term time frame, and that's what I want to focus more on. So that's how we're going to play with the strategy. That's all for today's stream. Have a nice day. Take care. Salman is asking, is it good to buy spot for long term at the moment? I don't think we should be buying spot for the long term, but we're just going to play levels on levels. So even if you really want to buy long term, you should be buying altcoin in this green box at least for 24-25% move. And if you don't flip this equilibrium, the dotted line of 688, simply sell off and wait for it to reclaim this green dot line, because once it reclaims this green dot line basically here, once you reclaim it, you rebuy it and then you let it ride. Basically you won't miss a move. But if you reject, the rejection would take it down like to double bottom, as I mentioned, a rejection from there to again double bottom. You are literally going to lose all your gains actually. It don't make sense. So just keep on booking gains. That's what I would say, and play the levels. Thank you. Have a nice day.